Listen, I just want to tell you guys, I'm not trying to be short or evasive or anything, but I just need to make sure that the stuff that I'm getting done, it takes precedence over everything else. Okay, so I just want to make sure.
Talk to me about the ad
on the same page.
Website, MySpace.
Sure, absolutely. MySpace and the helpfindkaylee.com website, same thing. We're trying to keep it all, very straightforward and uniform. We want people to be able to volunteer their time, and we're giving them the information on how they can volunteer, but there's some items that we personally need help with. And number one is, as this personal assistant role, it's actually coordinating these volunteers, scheduling them to be at these Publixes or be at some of these locations that we want to establish. So we're really looking for someone else that can kind of manage that, as if we have to do this for a few more days or another week or whatever. The sooner that we can get that off of our plate, it's just something else that we can obviously refocus our energy on another thing. So that was what it was designed for.
You need one, and George needs
frankly, right now we're looking for someone more locally here, and I've got to spruce all that up. Most of that was content that I just literally threw together.
Your mom said something came up this morning, and I guess she hasn't made it over to visit Casey yet. Do you know what it was that came up this morning?
I don't know.
Everyone's over there sort of waiting for the shot with your mom, but she hasn't come over there yet.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I'm not too sure.
Did you have any reaction to the fact that the state attorney's office said today that they are going to formally charge Casey?
I did not know that.
They didn't say that.
I didn't know that.
It's inaccurate.
If anything is, well, I can tell you, and my mom will say this, my dad will say it too, anything that comes out, print, new, on the, internet, through the media, we don't get that. We're not sitting in front of the TV. Frankly, we're not following it what everybody else does. So a lot of the times when we're asked a question, if we do one of these, it's because we honestly don't know, or that's the first that we've even heard about it. So a lot of times we just have to hear what you're saying, say, I'm not sure, and then of course we follow up, and then we can comment on it once we know, but it would be hard to speculate on something that, I don't even know.
Lee, you've been doing sort of your own investigation
yes.
on this, and I'm wondering if you personally yourself have been able to confirm that there are other people involved in the disappearance of your niece. I know you can't talk about who, because
right, absolutely. No, absolutely. I think that that's a possibility, that there would be, reason to explore that, and that's what, I'm exhausting every resource to do that.
Did your sister owe anybody money?
Not to my knowledge.
Lee, as you go into the third week here with Kaylee being missing, are you and the family, as the days go on, do you get more fearful or more hopeful you'll be able to bring her home?
Neither. It's kind of more the same. I mean, so here's the thing. Through you guys and through other means, we've been able to figure out how long it's been. Frankly, it's all one day to us. I mean, this might as well still be July 16th. So, we don't think of it in the terms of that. I mean, because regardless of a day passing, there's facts that haven't changed, and until those facts change or those facts becomes new, something else. I mean, we're working off of what we got. So, and that's what we're doing. So we're trying to do.
To follow up on her question,
sure.
Your mom has not showed up yet to see your sister.
Okay.
What's the deal?
I don't know. Well, that was supposed to be at 1 o'clock, right?
Yeah. When she came out of the garage, she just said that something came up, but that she'd talk to us when she got home.
See, I haven't talked to them enough.
And the police and then Jose don't know either. They basically say they don't keep your mom's schedule.
And we don't even keep our own, too.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the first time that I've been at the house since Sunday. So, I mean, it's still kind of, the same type of thing. I don't know.
Earlier this morning, your dad was taking out some trash. He took out some trash bags and then empty box of flyers and whatnot. After noon, a DHL delivery guy came over here to drop something off. He took off and he ran over the trash, and we couldn't help notice that some of those bags have some stuffed animals there.
Right.
What's the deal with throwing away the stuffed animals?
That was brought to my attention just about 10 or 15 minutes ago. I have, confirmed what the deal with that was, because again, I didn't know. It was the first time I learned about it too. There were some items, and I had seen them over the weekend before the vigil. There were some items that were almost pretty much like a bucket worth of like stuffed animals, toys, things like that were donated for Kaylee. To the family, just say, when she gets back, she can play with all this stuff and all those kind of things. Now, the items, they reeked of cigarette smoke, and we're not smokers here. you know, for all those things. I know some of those items were tried to be cleaned up or washed or things like that, but if something was so, you know, I mean, if it's kind of built into the cloth, my parents said, you know, just to throw it away. And, you know, we don't want to make it sound like, you know, we're not thankful for all that stuff, because we are in so many ways, but, you know, it was something that we tried, and if we couldn't, you know, put it to the use, it just, I think everyone can understand
Have you been able
that.
to find your sister's blackjack?
No,
Thanks.
I tell you, I haven't. You know, that is one of, I mean, if there's stones to be unturned, that's one of hundreds, I'm sure, but it's not off the radar either. But, you know, it's not something that I've probably put all of my time and effort into either. No.
And back to my original question, Lee, as far as these personal assistants, what is your time frame of having these people hired? I mean, we're talking about someone who, according to the website, will be available 24/7.
Yeah,
I mean,
24/7 to the family. Well, just because right now it's still kind of fluid on what we're working on and what we're going through. I know, and all we're looking to do is streamline some of the stuff that we know we're going to have a need for. You know, to schedule volunteers, to make sure that we're up on inventory when it comes to flyers, T-shirts, bracelets. Because right now we're out of T-shirts, we're out of bracelets, we're down to about 20,000 flyers. That's not going to last us through today. So, because we're still coordinating efforts nationally right now, but it's myself and my father that are trying to do that in our spare time. So
talk to me about those efforts. What do you got planned?
Planned and in the works is, you know, we daily have operations, you know, at Publix, at some other, you know, locations that are here. I've got some people down in Miami for the past 3 days that are hitting flyers and all the things like that out there. I mean, I talked to, a family that is coordinating their own efforts up in the North Carolina area. So we've got people, depending on the area, that are already kind of acting as a personal assistant, you know what I mean, or at least kind of assuming some of those roles. We're just looking for like that go-to person here locally that we're able to just hand over to kind of manage all that for us. And when we say 24/7, we don't expect somebody to literally be living and breathing at 24/7 like we are. It's more just being able to, if we call you at 10 o'clock at night and say, hey, you know, can you call these people, or can you make this schedule for us, or whatever, that they'd be able to do that.
I know it's only been this morning, but what's the response been like so far?
Actually, it's been up for about a day and a half now. It was put up over the weekend, so it's been real good actually. I have 173 emails, literally when I just walked out, that I haven't even read yet, and one of my email accounts, the one that everything is being sent to. So I'm sure I know just from the subject line I had a good amount of response from, which is good, and we just want to continue that. So, but of course a lot of people are out of state or maybe not localized, and while we're going to have things for people to do out of state, we're trying to find some way more local where we can, if we need to meet with them or, you know, whatever, it just makes it a little easier for us. So
can you clarify some miscommunication over a possible letter that Casey was writing?
yeah, absolutely.
Is that something maybe your dad just misunderstood? Or?
Right, I think everybody misunderstood, because it was something that I asked Casey for as soon as I had my first video visitation with her. I can't remember the day that I had the first video visitation with her, because I've had one since, and obviously several phone calls, but I know it has to be going on a week and a half now, 2 weeks or so. But I asked her at that point, I didn't even ask her, I just advised her of all her options, pretty much told her what she's allowed to do and talk to with the attorney, what she's allowed to do and talk to if she wanted to speak to investigators, the FBI, how she could communicate with us, because she didn't know that she could call us on, you know, how that worked, and I had to set up an account and all those things. So it was pretty much getting on the same page with her. And one thing that I expressed to her is, if you have the means, if you have pad and paper and things like that that you can write down, you can write a letter to us, you can write a letter and give it to, you know, Jose, you can write your thoughts down, you know, whatever. So I was encouraging her to pretty much use whatever means that she has at her disposal to reach out to anybody. I mean, obviously we'd love for her to reach, we're selfish, wanting her to reach out to us, but specifically I know what Jose has been also asking Casey to do, and it coincides with this, is if you have the means to write down your thoughts. The problem is, because of how she's being held right now, she does not have access to pad and paper, or excuse me, pad and pen. So she only has access to that when she's actually with Jose, with her attorney. So if she does have thoughts or something that she thinks is important she wants to write down, she doesn't have the means to do that. So